Sorry, guys. Technical problems as usual. Let's see if we can flip. Oh.
Hey, guys.
We got to go this way now.
Do you want me to get my stand?
Israel?
Hi.
Say hello, Garrett.
Hey, guys. Thanks for your patience. We've had some technical difficulties. I have the anti-Midas touch, so I'm going to blame it on my mojo. But we have a guest today who needs no introduction in the local improv world, Mr. Mike McCauley. So please give it up for Mike McCauley.
I feel great. I feel amazing. On the way over here, I was like, man, if only I knew all the technical shit and like Israel does and Garrett, I would be just putting out content. And then this happened, and I feel actually a little bit better because I don't feel so stupid.
We're
In a funny way, I feel
glad we could make you feel less
guys did this
stupid.
you did it on purpose. You're like, we're gonna make it look like we don't know what we're doing.
One of these days, we'll figure out how to do all this. But either way, I guess it's good to get together with you, Mike, as we do our podcasts, and Garrett. We're all squeezing in here.
Move my tea. We're gonna spill the tea.
And some dirt on improv.
Who are your least favorite improvers? No.
Underworld of improv.
Yeah.
Mike McCauley spills all.
No. Well, one great reason to have Mike here is that
Keeps them off the streets.
Mike's a Bear fan, and we had a big Bears Day this weekend.
Bear down, Chicago Bears.
Bears locked up their Super
Yes,
Bowl.
I am worried we got beat
Or
by...
not Super Bowl.
Playoff.
Yeah. They're in the playoffs for the first time since
We
2020.
did almost get beat by Green Bay's B team, though. I mean, everyone...
I will say this.
that.
Malik Willis, when he got in, I knew that he is a dual threat. He could run.
Yeah, he's
He
good.
he was recruited by Auburn and then went to Liberty, where my nieces went to school. One currently just graduated. And that guy at Liberty was dangerous.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, so...
Their fight song is Liberty, Liberty, Liberty.
Hey, no hitting the table, Garrett. No,
Sorry.
fine. Judy Bashansky. Hey, Judy.
Hey, Judy.
What's up, Judy?
And Jamie's out there too.
Judy,
Thanks
Judy,
for watching.
Judy.
Tracy says, "Go Bears."
Go Bears.
All right, so we had a big show last weekend, Garrett, with the Christmas show. Mike was part of that as well. What do you think? Give us the scoop.
I thought it was a home run. I thought everybody brought their A game. We had a packed house. It was a packed house. It was a sold out show, and everybody elevated. And I have heard nothing but great feedback from friends, family, and then those who I didn't even know on their way out. They loved the show. Mike is our veteran performer with 30 plus years of performance experience on the comedy and the improv stage. But Mike, what was your take on?
Veteran means I'm old.
And he takes care of animals. No, I'm kidding. That's a veterinarian. But Mike, give me your take on the show. You've been involved with a lot of shows. You and I used to put on some Second City shows. We did a run of Christmas shows there a few years.
Yeah, I would say it was probably one of the most well-received shows. It was a great audience, and it's a funny thing about improv and all art or whatever you do. It's everything's in context. You know, if you took the same thing and put it on another stage, maybe it wouldn't be good. But that particular day, the audience was just a great audience.
It was.
Everything kind of landed, and a lot of the performers were newer to improv, and I didn't work with them, and they really just nailed it. And so it was really cool to be a part of that, where everything was really well received, and it makes you feel great as a performer. And then you start bringing more energy, so it's a symbiotic thing with the audience. So it was really well done. I think limiting. I don't think we had a ton of scenes. Normally we kind of overpack the show, and we're kind of rushing to get through them. It was the right amount of sketches and games, so it gave things time to breathe. So when it's, some of the scenes were working and you got time to do them. So I think that was really well done as well.
Any favorites? Anything that stood out to you in the show, Mike?
Well, I said my favorite sketch was Kevin and Jules' song, the song thing. I could just watch those two all day. They're the physicality and their energy is just really good. So there was a lot of really good sketches. Obviously, the Cratchit was one
Oh,
I
that's
helped
good, yeah.
write or whatever. That one was really good. But yeah, I'd say that's my favorite. I think that's a bit that they can do in any show.
Yeah.
What about you, Garrett? What stood out?
You know what's funny is just rolling back to what Mike said about every show is different. Like the audience is different. How the performers are feeling that day can change from day to day, right? And I remember Bob Odenkirk, who was an SNL writing alumni or alumnus, and he mentioned that with SNL, he wanted to keep perfecting the sketches he wrote. But Lorne Michaels would say, they don't go, he's like, it's not ready, it's not ready. And he said, Bob, we don't go on at SNL, we don't go on because it's ready. We go on because it's 10 or 11:30
Right.
Eastern time. And so taking that where you're live without a net, you bring in with whatever you deal with. And Mike mentioned Jules and Kevin, and they came from another show in Lockport, this big Christmas spectacular show where they had meaty roles. And so they came in and brought the energy. Sometimes it could be a reversal. You could be kind of depleted, but no, their energy stayed high. So I don't know. I thought a lot of the bits landed so well. Did I have a favorite moment? Mike, I always enjoy watching Mike perform. So we did a Mike McCauley Culkin Home Alone.
Yeah.
And so part one of that where Mike kind of goes crazy. I just love seeing him riff. So it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy seeing it.
I thought the song was a
yeah,
lot of fun. Madison wrote a great song and kind of to start and to cap it off, and just a lot of fun. Like a really good job. A really good job on that.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody executed their part, and right before a show, especially when you have something where there's music and that, there's a little bit of organized chaos, and you just want to make sure that it lands for the crunch time for when the lights are on.
I do think the best shows though are when it's not totally perfect going in, because I know that we've done some where it's rehearsed and it's like we have the best rehearsals, and then we go out and it's a little flat. I think some of those best shows are like, it's just not like, we don't have it totally figured out. And then there's that magic that happens in a live environment. That's
We
why
definitely didn't have it all figured out.
I like that.
I will say, so one of my former employees, he was an accountant for our office, but he plays the drums, and he was in a couple bands. But he would say when they'd have awful rehearsals, they'd have great shows. And when they had tight rehearsals, they'd have like flat shows, like they were just off for something. And sometimes you can lose like connection and spontaneity with polishing, right? And so it's a healthy balance. You got to figure out what that balance is.
So this show's a little different because there was a mix of sketch as well as the just improv games, which is a nice mix, made for a fun night. But how do you felt that show felt different or went different than a regular just improv show?
What's funny is I like the sketches. I don't want to go 100% sketch. I don't want to. We do a lot of 100% improv shows, but I think it's kind of like you can like a strategic pugilist. You can measure your blows and basically make those punches, so to speak, those punchlines really, really stick. And so I like the fact that with sketches, I used to be very, very by the book. Like I'd memorize all my lines word for word, and I'd memorize my players' lines word for word. Mike and I would do these Second City shows all the time. And then I started doing more of you just know the beats. You know that you kind of got to get from part A to part B to part C, which is usually like the third act is usually like the punchline. And so how you get there can change. And so a lot of times when we write, we have improv to sketch where we have an concept and then we'll get up and figure it out. And there's like a Rubik's Cube where the tumblers come in place and it gets more refined.
Mike, I'm sorry.
No, but I like that element. That element.
And Mike, you write a lot. Talk a little bit about what do you go through? Do you have much of a process when you write, or how's that work?
Well, Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say to tag on what Garrett said. Like, I like a little bit of everything. Like, I love doing the improv, I love doing the writing, and I love like long form. That's what I grew up on. So I love doing all three of those. And it's probably because I'm conceited, and I'm like, I think I do all of those well. And I was starved for attention as a kid. So, but yeah, writing. I've always enjoyed having an idea that happens in life and go that's going to be a scene. Like, here's something that pisses me off. Like, I'm in a grocery store and someone uses the self checkout and they got like 50 items in their cart, and I'm like, that's going to be a scene. Like, it's cool to work out things it's a cathartic thing to work out things in your life. So
I mean, one show we had just like 7 sketches on checking out at different stores, all written by Mike. I mean, it was probably one of our angriest shows.
What's funny is, like, we did a lot of more. I mean, in the past we did a lot more sketches, and I remember, like, I literally was like, I like going into a room and we're gonna have all these sketches and kind of hash it up.
Right.
And then Garrett and I, like, Garrett would be like, here's something, on that scene, you should think about it. And I'd be like, you had one where it was like, I got 3 scenes. I'm like, you should make that one scene. And then it was kind of cool to be like rounding out the scene by hashing it out.
Yeah.
And not everyone likes that.
No.
So I do think that there's been, over the long time that I've done this, some people are like, I don't like that. I don't want to go in and fight for my sketch. But part of me is like, even though I'm a conflict avoider, I go, I really like that. I'm fighting for this because I think it's really funny, and so I love that. I love that idea of going in. And I guess I never really thought about it. Adam said something the other day, like, oh, the first time I ever was in a pitch meeting, basically, and I'm like, oh man, unfortunately I usually come in with like 30 ideas. I don't have them all right now. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go, but it's a guy at a checkout counter. I don't have an ending, so.
Mike, Tracy asked online, with you and I doing stand-up recently, what are the different skills needed for stand-up compared to improv? So how do you answer that?
I mean, there's some similarities. I think when it comes to stand-up, you have to let the audience know when to laugh, as stupid as that sounds. Yeah. So, I think most of the comedy is like timing. The way you say things can make it more funny. In a sketch, you might have to stop and go, I think that was really stupid. And then people, oh, he's saying something funny, and it's laugh. So I think stand-up's similar. And that's something I had to learn, because I think most people that start doing stand-up, they tell stories, right? This is a funny story I tell my friends, and they laugh. But when you go up on stage, it's not funny, because usually you're, at an open mic, it's all comedians there. So you got to learn to, like, here's a joke, and let people know what that joke is. I think 2 things that work really well is, like, when you say, have you ever seen a comedian, they tell a joke and then it takes like a few seconds, it's like a time bomb, and they go, I think that the same thing works in improv, where you play up to the intelligence of the audience. And that works a lot better in improv. I think improv, people want you to do well, and in stand-up, it's like a hostile crowd.
There's a lot of people, they do this and like, make me laugh.
Yeah.
That's why those bars are very needed, very much needed.
Garrett, you ever tried stand-up?
No, I have never tried stand-up, although sometimes in the grocery store, I've heard people have come up to me overhearing one of my rants, and said, you were hysterical. That'd be a great stand-up routine.
Now put down the microphone, sir.
I was at like Osco, of Jewel Osco. I always
just grab the phone out of the middle of the aisle and start ranting.
It was like one of my wife's friends was disinviting her and another friend from the wedding. Oh. And I was like, where do I go to get disinvited? No man cares if they get, like, women are weaponizing in wedding invitations. Like, we don't care. Oh, good. The Bears are on that day. But anyhow, I had some long thing that was funnier back then. But I do want to mention something Mike mentioned about, and this goes back to our Second City days, when Mike was part of my gluten group. And the way Mike came into our gluten group, it was me, one of my classmates, Dan, and some of his coach ensemble mates from Second City, and a couple people from my classes, and maybe from my ensemble. But we had a crisis of confidence. Like, we had some shows that were booked, like a series of like 4 shows, and half of the team wasn't showing up, and we had this let's meet at Comedy Sports, and you're either in or you're out. And there was like 5 of us left. And then I said, I know 2 guys. I said, I know a couple Ringos. And somebody said, you mean ringers? Ringers. I said Ringos, because the Beatles weren't the Beatles until they got Ringo Starr. And so I got Mike, who was with my Tinley Park Fourth Wall group, or Graffiti on the Fourth Wall, and also Jeff McNerlin, who I used to compete against on humorous speeches. And he was part of my writing improv class. And we would, like Mike said, all write sketches, and we'd sit around. I have pictures of us just sitting around, and we basically would say which one has legs and which ones maybe need a little work or retooling. And democratically,
Yeah.
some would get in and some would not. And we just wanted to put on the best show.
Right.
And
It's
it
like
worked.
leave your ego at the door and let's just have the best ones. And you can do it in a way that's, I mean, I think that group was really positive too. Like everyone,
totally.
you know, like let's just do what's best for the scene. Let's just do what's best for the show.
Yeah.
And like for instance, your Unilever sketch didn't make it.
That's right. Martin Unilever.
Garrett wrote a sketch about Martin Unilever.
It was a blackout. It was a blackout.
And what was it? I can't remember. Martin Unilever.
No, it
We were all
was, it was
yelling,
Bed Bath and Beyond.
What was it?
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it was a seance. But it was a dark out. So it was like quick setup, punch. And one of our
We
cast
laughed more about that sketch.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make the show.
No, it didn't make the show. But that's the thing is, like, you kind of got to throw stuff and see what sticks to the wall. But one of our castmates, Jennifer, J-Bo, as we affectionately call her, she was a superstar and somebody who was rare because not only was she a superstar who was integral to scenes, but like she was a great team player. That's a rarity. And I believe in these like kind of coincidences with birthdays. Mike and her shared the same birthday.
They did.
But they were the 2 superstars on the team.
Pisces.
Yeah,
The greatest
March-
of all. The
March
most
19th.
agreeable of all the signs. Yeah.
Well, Mike, how'd you get into improv? What got you into improv?
I always loved like oh my gosh, this is gonna take a long time. But I always loved like Saturday Night Live. I grew up like I was born in 1970. So
He said he liked all the. He said he liked all those comedians before talkies.
yeah, we had a steam powered television at home. But I do love. Kevin mentioned last week Buster Keaton. I was a big silent movie person. Marx Brothers, things like that. But I always loved Saturday Night Live. That was kind of really just coming up when I remember being 6 or 7 years old watching Saturday Night Live.
Any favorite casts? Any favorite Saturday Night Live casts?
I mean, I like. There's a lot. There's a lot of. I mean, but of that cast, I loved John Belushi and Bill Murray. And then over the years, I think it's underrated. I think it's just been around a long time, so it's an easy thing to not like.
And I just mentioned it because it's funny. Kevin brought that up too, along with other influences.
Yeah.
But it's one of those shows where different generations have
Yeah.
caught it at
Oh,
different
that's true,
times,
yeah.
and it's affected different ways. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I was like the Chris Farley, that era, which was legends. But
Yeah. Well, so I started right when I got out of college. I was always like extroverted. I loved giving speeches. I did plays.
What plays did you do?
Just like plays in high school. and
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
curious. Like, did you have media rules, or were you?
I had like I went to Catholic school, so we didn't do like a full.
What school did you? I went to Marist.
St. Lawrence.
Oh, my brother went to St. Did you know Brother Vorlick?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
we've had this conversation.
Yeah, we had.
you guys,
Stay
hey,
tuned.
nice to meet you, Garrett and Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Welcome.
So, but
Next week we have Brother Vorlick on the show.
So and then I went to college and I dabbled in a little theater, but I could never really fully commit. That's the story of my life. My autobiography is going to be How to Not Become Famous. But I did some plays, but I never was like fully into it. And
I mean, I'm just curious, what type of plays? Like, was it like
Like,
Glenn Ross? Or
I played Randall P. McMurphy.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. So that's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson played Randall Patrick McMurphy. He goes into a
And
crazy
I
war.
did even in grade school. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I remember I was 7th grade, and this is the first time they were ever going to do it.
Don't tell me you did Wood Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I did.
7th grade.
But it was I played one of the cuckoos. No, I was in a musical, and it was our school paid some woman to write a musical, and everyone was going out for this thing. And I remember her going, she's playing the piano and seeing who could sing, and we're all singing in a big group. And I'm like, everyone here doesn't know how to sing, but I knew exactly what she was looking for, and I could hit the notes, and she just kept saying you, and I got the leading role.
You were 13. You said.
Yeah, I was 7th grade.
7th grade.
And I remember him coming home, and my mom was like the most proud. My mom was kind of into singing and everything, and so anyway.
Can you? What was the name of the big song there?
It was it was going to be Don't Fence Me In, but that was the only song that wasn't original. So she replaced it with another song. I'd have to remember it. I'll see if I can find the tape. It was a cassette tape. But anyway, after college, I said I want to go to Second City because I kept hearing about people that came. I knew everyone like Mike Myers, I think, at that time, and maybe Chris Farley. It was like late 80s, early 90s. And I went to the Players Workshop, which was where he went before Second City. And then I went to the Improv Olympic. And then everyone I knew, like my first coach was Neil Flynn, he ended up being on the middle. And then David Keckner.
Yeah, I saw him do stand-up. He was the guy on The Office and some other movies.
He was Anchorman.
Yeah, Anchorman.
He was a sports guy in Anchorman. And then there was other people. And then like Tina Fey was there, and Amy Poehler, and Horatio Sands. And who's the guy that was on Conan O'Brien's
Andy Richter?
Yeah, Andy Richter.
Really?
So like everyone I met was like, hey, I'm like, so I kind of was like, hey, where do I sign up to be famous? Like, someone's going to discover me. Every story I ever heard about like Hollywood, you always hear like, she was waiting in line for a movie, and then Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So I was just like, someone's going to recognize
Was complaining about how many items she had in the checkout line.
She was in the self-checkout. But yeah, I just was like, oh, I don't know how it works. And this is why I'm on this podcast today, because I don't know how to work the thing. And I just was, I don't know, I didn't know.
Are you kidding me, Mike? You finally made it. We got 7
After
viewers.
35 years in the industry, finally Mike has made it.
I've hit it. That's what I said when I was
Eat your heart out, Dave Keckner.
when I did stand-up in Chicago Ridge. I was like, I finally made it to Chicago Ridge. Just finished the tour of Bridgeview. But yeah, so I got started to doing that, and it was like the golden. Not only was I doing it I was like the absolute ground zero of everyone becoming famous in Chicago, and I was there. And Garrett teases me because I had classes with Del Close.
Well, I don't tease. I really respect the fact that, like, I mean, Del Close, for those not in the know, he trained like everybody famous, like from Bill Murray to Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. And so, Mike, what was it like in class with Del Close?
I mean, it was intense. I remember him yelling at me on several occasions. Like he got really upset.
Tell people, okay, so not everybody knows who Del Close is. So can you give a little...
So Del Close is one of the
background?
founding members of Second City. I think Second City started at the University of Chicago in the 50s. And I think like Mike Nichols was there. And I think Joan Rivers might have been.
Oh, was she really? Really?
Oh, it's a long list of people that were there. But Del Close kind of hung around Chicago the whole time.
Well, they had like Fred Willard. Was he part of
Yeah.
that?
And then
Richard Klein, I think.
if you ever see the movie Untouchables, he's one of the aldermen that comes in and is like trying. He was in anytime they filmed the movie in Chicago. He also apparently they experimented on him with LSD or whatever.
Well, it was a big substance.
This is what they say. I don't know, but it was cool. And Del, I mean, I can remember a few things that he taught was like, he always like. I did a scene one time where some guy came in and I think I was like. Oh, my Siri's talking. I was like, it was like someone coming to deliver a water bill, and I was like, I can't believe you delivered this bill. And he said, stop. The other guy in the scene started like, oh, this is so great. I'm so glad you brought this bill or whatever. And he would always go for like, do the unexpected thing. Another one I remember vividly.
So what did you end up doing then? What was the...
Well, the guy turned the scene around on me, and he made it like super positive. You know, the one I remember very well was this girl came in, and we were doing a scene. The girl came in and she had her baby, and we were supposed to be like in a museum.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, I was the janitor, and she goes, "Do you know the name of this dinosaur?" And I was like, "Lady, I don't know the name of the dinosaur. I got to worry about putting urinal cakes on floor 4. Well, he was like, why did you do that? Why was that your choice? You could have said, why weren't you the janitor who knows everything about all the dinosaurs because you're there all the time?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people in improv start out and they go for like a negativity. Like, I'm going to take I'm going to be ranting and raving about. Yeah. And so I always remember that lesson because I always sometimes, now having agreement, yes, Annie, doesn't mean that there's not conflict. That conflict is also a way to agree. But I remember that very well because what I did was went for the joke. I think saying urinal cakes is funny. I still do. But what that told me was don't go for the joke.
Right.
And so in that time, and we started doing long form and those things where it's a little more, you got a little more, there's like seriousness, which in the end can be actually more funny in a way. So that was something I learned.
Can I follow up? Adam had texted me earlier today, and I think this kind of falls into here is, what is the best, worst advice you have ever received? I think he means regarding improv, not investment, investment banking. What is the best or worst advice you ever received regarding improv? Because you just talked about what Del Koski...
that might have been the best thing I ever learned, and I still think about it all the time when I'm on stage. Like,
what's some of the worst?
How can I... Well,
like 2 do's and a don't.
My friend was... so I had a very good friend of mine, and we kind of went through the Players Workshop, and your grad show was on the Second City main stage, and I did the Second City Children's Theater, but I never did Second City. Now, I did audition there one time.
Really? That close was Improv Olympic.
Yeah. So my friend's like, don't do Second City, that's played out. And I was like, that was the worst thing I ever did. Because I didn't, and again, the thing about me is and to this day, and I don't mean to make an excuse, I'm just not good at figuring out like the mechanics of how things work. You know what I mean? Like, I could never start this live cast.
We barely got that started.
That's true. That's why I felt better. But like, well, where do you go? Like, I think in life I was waiting for something to happen, rather than I'm going to figure this out and how to do it for myself. I mean, on the other hand, I met my wife. We got married. I started having kids. I got my master's degree. I had a wonderful career. So those things are a little hard. I always did performing a little bit, but I was always like, I was never going to be the person who drove it. And when you have a career like this, my advice to you young kids out there is you got to own it. You got to be the one to drive it, because if you don't do it, no one else is going to really do it for you.
Mike, what do you think is the biggest difference or things that people get out of like a Second City training or Improv Olympic that maybe not, obviously nothing against here or Curtain Call or any, but what's the difference? Why do people go downtown for that?
Well, I mean, I think one reason is people come from all over the country. So when I was there, people moved here specifically, and we know people that have moved here.
Yeah, right.
On
of course.
Team.
Yeah.
But you get that a lot. I guess you kind of soak in the culture a little more because, I mean, this is, I think, something Garrett's building. Like, we have a lot of shows going on, but it's different influences, different theaters. Like, then I would go to the Annoyance Theater, and that was a totally different vibe. And then, you'd go to a Second City show where it's much more scripted. And then you're at I.O. where it's like, there if you were on a team, you perform, but it was like, basically you're kind of learning on the fly. But there was a lot of, so it's just like the vibe of being, it's like being from the small, like it's being on Broadway versus, Chicago on Broadway, which has a lot of great people, but maybe not everyone comes here just for that. Right, sure. But they do that for improv.
And I think, like you said it's like kind of the people have known about these different cast members on SNL that started at Second City. And so it is kind of a beacon. And like you mentioned, like Madison from our crew came from Pittsburgh. She went to college at Grace College in Indiana. And she moved into the city, but she moved to Tinley Park. And she still does stuff with Comedy Sports. But stuff with main stage as well as Curtain Call.
Maybe one day people move to Tinley Park to do improv with Garrett Gray.
Yeah, maybe one day. But with that said, that's part of the reason, though. Cultures are different. There's a different philosophy. And my idea here, though, is to have a Mike McCauley, a Madison, improv with Israel, or even somebody who's newer to improv, and let some of that like experience and knowledge rub off by doing, right? So Adam, who was our Santa for our last show, but last year was his his first show as Santa with us for our Christmas show, and that was a sketch show. So it was his first sketch show with us, and he said when he went into that first practice with you, me, Madison, Logan, Ken Shahansky, Israel was there as well. But like the process, he was really blown away by the comedic experience, jokes, as well as the process. So, and he fit in, Adam fit in right away. So the idea is to continually onboard new people and raise their level, as well as, you know, I don't want always Mike to feel, because he's very experienced, to feel like he's got to always work with people that have a skill set that is much lesser than his, because even though you have less experience does not mean you don't have talent or skill. And so Mike has raved about, especially the new squad, Israel. He's mentioned Israel a few times here in glowing conversation to me privately. So, as well as Jules.
Now it's public.
Now it's public. You can consummate the marriage.
Hello.
And obviously, you know, I don't think it necessarily is a time thing.
No.
Because I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm still here. Yeah, it's more about getting reps. You know?
Yeah, it's about reps.
Being in those experiences. Because you're like, you can throw anything at me now. I'm like, I can handle it. You know?
Oh yeah.
Hey, we got Brandon. Shout out to Brandon, main stage board member. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, yeah.
Asked, how do you guys feel about musical instruments with stand up? How and parodies? Heard you all did a nice parody at the main stage improv Christmas show. Didn't Garrett see Weird Al? What do you guys think about musical parodies?
I mean, I love it. I love mixing it up with music, musical parodies. I think musical improv is a great thing that enhances the show a lot. Really having music in there. But yeah, as far as like a stand-up, I wish I was a better guitar player. Also, something I've been doing for 30 years that I really can't do, and learning Spanish. Improv, I learned. I think I've learned. Music and Spanish, I can't do. Any other language.
Muy bien, Mike.
What'd you say?
I know un poco español.
That's how you say cow.
Well, I did want to say music does enhance. So when Mike and I would do shows at Second City, that we'd have a musical accompaniment, like Paul Schaefer, but we had different pianists there, and we like some of our Christmas shows.
Women too. Don't be sex.
Okay. He's here all day. No. So one of the things we did have yourself. One of our groups was 100% gluten, and we had have yourself a very gluten Christmas, where instead of eating unhealthy, or instead of eating the kale rolls, you can eat unhealthy. And so it was a fun parody to do off of an existing song, right? Because sometimes that's easy. I have a friend that's really good at writing song parodies, and he gave us the bones, and we added to it.
I mean, I even like doing original songs too, if you can.
Yeah, we've had some original. Jen did something about what was the
White Claw.
White Claw, yeah.
That was a White Claw Christmas.
Yeah, so we have music from time to time, and I think it helps augment. And Israel and I just saw the Traveling Second City, and they had a lot of music, and more music than they had in previous. They were playing at Moraine Valley. It was the Traveling, and the previous ones had a little bit of music. This had a lot, and it really does augment, I think, the experience of the show, right? And so I do like it too. I think it's something to lean into.
Yeah, and you think I always talk about the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah. And the Wayne Brady songs are always blow my mind, and it's so impressive to see, and even the sketch ones and what we've done with Madison's songs. I mean, it's just it does add something to that show.
That's what's amazing about like when you do go to like an IO or a Second City where they have an accompanist that can just with and totally improvised scene. They can
enhance it.
And then when the scene's over, they just play. It's almost like that's like their blackout.
We had one accompanist where we were doing like a Christmas show where it was a white elephant gift, and it turns out the lady's a stalker, and then she starts getting like more and more. This was Jen and Logan, and then all of a sudden the pianist, I don't know, would play that Michael Myers, those kind of scary piano, but we had a layoff during Thanksgiving, and so when she came back, we couldn't get in the stage to do our tops and bottoms because a group was going too long. And that time she didn't do it. So it's kind of like and she was experienced. I've seen her play at Moraine for the Traveling Second City. But it just happens where every show's live. And so sometimes you have it and sometimes you don't. But hey, I do want to.
When are we starting?
I do want to go to one of our segments, our most popular segment on the Main Stage podcast. It's called Q&A with K, Q&A with Kevin Hickey, and we're going to call Kevin Hickey, and he's going to have an original question that he's been writing and thinking about for the last 2 weeks. He's been revising, rewriting for you, Mike.
For this question?
Now we're going to see live Garrett do tech work. Making a phone call.
He's texting him now.
He's right.
Do you know how to text, or is that a phone call?
I was texting, but I'm going to call.
We're losing people, Garrett.
Well, that's Kevin. He had to go to answer the
phone. He's
phone.
answering the call.
So
all right.
Here we go. So Kevin Hickey, Q&A with K. Q&A with K. Where should I put the mic? Where's the mic? Hey, Kevin.
Hello?
Hey, Kevin. Welcome to the Main Stage Improv podcast.
Oh, man. I've always wanted to do this. I'm so glad that you called me.
This is so exciting.
Well, you were on the last one. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah.
He's got a goldfish memory here. So, but Kevin, how long have you been crafting this question for Mike? Is it a month? 5 weeks?
When I heard that Mike was going to be on the podcast, I scoured my brain for years trying to come up with a good question. So I'm glad we're finally here. There's 2 questions I have for Mike. One with the evolution that comedy has made throughout the years. Is there something that you've seen that you may have gotten right that it was not going to work, or that you've kind of like blown off and it became more popular?
Ooh.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I said the example of Second City. I'm like, I think Second City's played out. There's all these new places. There's long form. No one's going to go to Second City. And now it's like took up a whole city block. And there's all these different stages on there. A friend of mine had gone into the Second City training, like where they do business training, the business end of Second City.
Yeah, that's good.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. Fuck that. Excuse my language. I hope we can swear on this.
You can't.
So
let's see. Yeah, we're still on the air. We're going so far. We're good.
I definitely missed the boat on improv for life off of the stage. I probably could have opened a business and done that. Luckily, we have Garrett here, who's a little more business savvy. So yeah, I think that I was wrong about a lot of stuff, but I think a lot of stuff, as far as like, what did you ask? What was right?
Like what are other than the trend, like some of the trends? Like it's not like slapstick's played out. I'm gonna
right.
go with that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I see it, a lot of it is the same. Like it's kind of like these old ideas just keep coming back in a different form. Obviously, YouTube and TikTok and that is such a big thing now that I'm always amazed at how people are able to take that and move with the new thing. Like I know you talked about Buster Keaton, Kevin, and I was a big Buster Keaton fan, and Charlie Chaplin, Harold Lloyd, but I always thought, what would it have been like to be at the advent of cinema, like making a 2-reeler wow. And I'm like, we basically have that now. Anyone can go on right now and create a TikTok and have a massive audience for it. There's nothing preventing any of us from doing that. So really, we are kind of at the dawn, and AI is going to change that even more. So I do think that there are people that have been able to sort of, they're more visionary. I'm not a visionary at all. I can't. I also could never see the marketability. I never was really understood the economics of like, people are going to come and pay money to see me. Like they could just come to my house. I'm just, so I wasn't good at that.
You hear that, everybody? You can just
But I
come
do
to
think,
my
as far
house.
as trends, I don't think that much has really changed. It's just kind of repackaged.
Okay.
What's your second question, Kevin?
Well, let me sidetrack a little bit because I was listening beforehand and I heard that Mike also has never performed at Second City. So I think we need to make a petition to get me and Mike on that stage.
Yeah. No, I have performed at Second City on like the other
never
stage.
mind. You know what?
I was not what I
It's
didn't
just
do.
you, Kevin. Sorry.
What I didn't do, Kevin, was I didn't do like the conservatory.
Okay. All right.
So I didn't go through. I have one letter from Kelly Leonard, and I only auditioned one time. I was like 24 or 25, and it was this crazy audition. I auditioned for they had the traveling thing. Or whatever. And I was still at an Improv Olympic. And then they wrote me a letter and it's like, you were not accepting you. But he wrote in there, we're very interested in the development of your career and all this nice stuff. And I was like, oh, they didn't want me. So then I reread that letter like years later and I was like, it seems like that was more than just the normal rejection
Yeah,
letter.
I think so too.
So, I guess I messed up on that. But yeah, so we did a lot of shows at like the other theaters there. And I did perform on the main stage when I was with the Children's Theater and some of that. But
When he was 10.
I was never like,
When he was 10.
I was never part of like the cast of an official, Second City main stage or ETC at the time show. So if we can get that changed, Kevin, I'm all for it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, Kevin, thank you for your questions.
So one more question.
Oh, one more. All right.
One more, and then I'll let you guys go. So how would you, someone who's getting in to improv that may have improv or comedy itself that is in a newly formed family, how would you what advice would you give to them to balance your personal and comedy life?
Yeah. Well, I got a couple things I would say about that. I always remember the Bruce Springsteen song "Racing in the Street." You know that song?
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
That's a
familiar
great.
with
It's,
this.
it's on "Darkness on the Edge of Town," and he says some guys just give up living, and they just go about their lives. He goes, some guys come home and they change and they go racing in the street. They still have that thing, and I've always kept. I said I don't care how old I get, as long as I think I'm doing this well, I'm going to do it as an example, like to my kids that I've given up. I know I'm not going to be famous from this, but I think there's a context in which if you put our show in Rockefeller Center or then it might be the greatest show ever because people just like things that are popular.
Right.
Mike, what do you think you get personally out of doing improv?
Let me answer that in a second.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So I'd say just kind of keeping doing it, even though you have a life. This is part of your life. But I would say the thing that I saw from the people that I knew that went on and did great things is they either had a drive or like I almost want to say lack of awareness, like lack of self-awareness, like. I'm gonna do this, and I like. Have you ever seen someone that likes to sing, and they go sing, and they're like, I don't care who thinks I'm conceited. I'm gonna be on American Idol. Like I think it takes a little of that, like a little bit of like self-delusion. I'm gonna do this no matter what. I was always very self-conscious. Like if I wasn't going to be the best, I didn't want to do it. So you need to have a little bit of self-delusion. But as far as what I get out of it, I mean, I think, I said before about how it's cathartic. I'd be lying if I didn't say it was a good thing for your ego. People, laugh and they say that it's funny. I do think that there's something about the fact that it's improv, it's a performance that doesn't necessarily live on. I heard a surfer one time say that they thought, when they're riding a wave, right? When you think about the motion of the planet and around the sun and the moon and the tide and we're on the arm of the big, and he goes, all those factors are going into this wave and all the energy from the universe. And just before it dies, I get to ride it. And that's how I feel doing improv because, I have a little bit of a distractibility problem. And they say be present, right? Like, and it doesn't just mean like, it doesn't just mean like conscious. It means like physically present. And I like the idea of being so present that I'm in a scene with Garrett or Israel and we have this moment and we're never going to have it again. And it's going to be gone. It's kind of like, have you ever heard that song, If We Were Vampires? Like, if we could live forever, none of this shit would mean anything.
I just realized Mike and I do not have the same musical taste. I obviously am not a Menudo fan. We can be vampires.
If we were vampires...
Is that a Beatles song? I'm
kidding.
Is it?
You know who it is.
Someone
put it in the chat.
One.
He's a popular guy in Nashville.
Yeah, it's George Strait. That's the old great country song.
Jamie loves the surfer analogy.
No, I love it too.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, thank you for those awesome questions. We appreciate your time. And
sorry, Kevin.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Talk to you later.
Thanks for having me back on.
All right, yeah. Q&A with Kay. Thanks, Kev.
I do have some kind of like quick hit questions we can do, and then Garrett, if you have any others.
I do have a few, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Mike, have you ever taken an old-fashioned black and white photo at like an amusement park thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Any? When was it? As a child or as an adult?
No, I was a kid. I think I was with my parents, and
But to be honest, back then that's all they had was the black and white. I'm kidding, my friend. I'm kidding.
No,
they just called those photos.
Yeah,
back
they were
then.
called photos. They were called black and white. and everything meant more then. That's when shit mattered. Not like now. Everyone's got a phone. You can do whatever you want.
Anytime there's like a light out at the theater, he's like, I got some oil, kerosene in the car.
Garrett, you ever do one of those photos?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
All right. Well, you still have time.
Have you?
Yeah, like as a kid, we went to Disney World or something, and I don't know, you were holding the gun or something, but yeah, good times. All right. How about, other than who you mentioned, who are some of your comedic influences?
Yeah.
Wow. Comedic influences. Like, I mean, stand-up wise.
I think both. I mean, both. Like, what would you say your brand of humor is like? We were talking about that a couple podcasts.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a little more intelligent, I think Bill Murray was the person I wanted to be. Everyone said I looked like John Belushi when I was younger, so, I always had that. I mean, even now when I want to go there, and I want to be the big obnoxious guy, I can do that. But I never just wanted to do that. I never wanted to be known as that.
I gotta say this too. This is a nuanced thing too.
Steve Martin.
Oh yeah.
I listened to his album. When
He's
I was
pretty
young,
cerebral.
a lot, yeah.
But I will say this: like when you do your like yelling and stuff, it's not really yelling. It's like a faux yelling. Like if I try to yell, my wife would be like, "You're gonna scare like all the audience." So tell the people how, like, even a whisper is a stage whisper. So how do you do your stage yelling?
I don't yell as loud as I would yell normally.
Yeah, but you kind of make it sound like you're yelling, but not really.
It's almost like having an accent. Have you ever had an accent? It's kind of like a British accent, but it's not really. It's kind of English as well. Yeah. And that's how you can do a yell. You raise the volume of your voice, but not necessarily where I'm yelling.
Oh my God,
you get that gravelly.
Scaring me, yeah.
It's more the front of the palate.
Okay.
Projection.
Yeah. Okay, so just get loud, but not guttural.
Not annoying.
There you go.
Okay. How about what's your favorite Christmas movie, Mike?
Ooh.
It's a Wonderful Life, no doubt. I'm a huge Frank Capra guy. Love that movie since I was a kid. I love the lesson of the movie. That's all we had was black and white movies in those days.
I'm surprised you had a talkie.
But I love movies that I know it doesn't come out in a lot of the comedy I do, but I do love the pathos. There's something a little bit more meaningful, and it just is more. It stays with you a little bit more. I think.
How about you, Garrett?
Die Hard. I'm just kidding. No, it is actually my wife's favorite Christmas movie is Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, especially the Santa scene with the salmon. I agree with Mike. It's a Wonderful Life because I've seen it so many times. In Woodridge, they'd have Carolyn Grimes, who played Zuzu Petals, or Zuzu, who had the pedals. She would come, talk about it, do Q&A. And one of the questions I asked her, and then she kind of she ripped on me after I said it, was like, there are, like Mike said, pathos, there's dark themes, suicide, scandal, bankruptcy.
You said this to Zuzu?
Yeah. And she said, I said, with
What's wrong with you?
She's like, I'm known for flower petals, rose petals.
She's a national treasure, Garrett.
How about the suicide and murder?
Yeah.
There's malfeasance.
Those dark themes.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, those dark themes. Yet it still endures.
But it's real.
And it's real. And I agree, the message at the end, right? He who has friends is, what was the, never penniless? I don't know what it was. It was something like that. He who has friends is rich. And I do believe that, no man is an island. And I do think, just to quote the Beatles, I get by with a little help from my friends. So that's my
who are the Beatles? I've never heard of them.
I know, he listens to,
Jason Isbell is the guy who wrote...
What, Vampires?
Yeah, it's give it a listen on the way home.
All right.
Okay.
I mean it.
What was it called?
I'm surprised you don't hear that one played on the Christmas
Can we play
Christmas
it?
channel.
Can we play it when we're...
Yeah, well,
They don't play it on FM
sure.
or AM.
That's good.
Speaking of, I would put "It's a Wonderful Life" up there. Thanks for asking. But funny enough, downtown Mokina themed their all Christmas
Yes.
as "It's a Wonderful Life." So it's Pottersville signs. You should stop
just
by,
down,
Mike.
yeah, just like block down the road.
The whole downtown.
It's based on the town of Seneca Falls, New York.
Oh, is it?
And they do it there. We
really?
got some questions in there. I don't like.
Yeah, we've been going through a full.
I got a quick
What do you do to pump up?
Okay. Mike's running the show now. What do you?
Who asked?
Jamie asked, "What do you do? Anything the day of the improv show to prepare for it?"
Is this a R-rated? Can we? No, I'm just kidding.
Who do you bang?
What are you doing?
No, I do think I do. I am definitely a person who's in favor of warming up.
Yeah.
I like to get warmed up physically, and just they're just. I listen to music. There's sometimes where I want to meditate and just rest and just clear my mind.
I will say this though.
I do listen to a lot of AC/DC.
Yeah, he's a big AC/DC guy, and I'm joking about the music, but I will say this: don't listen to sentimental songs to prepare for a show. You don't need to come in there weeping to do a comedy show.
Yeah. I think the times when I've done a bad show is I'm just in my head. Or something.
Speaking of in your head, we also got the question of boxers or briefs. So
I do boxer briefs. It's like a combo.
I do both. Come on, life's too short.
Yeah.
I grew up on whitey
He wears
tighties.
two pairs. He wears first the whitey tighties and then a pair of boxers over
Of course,
top
you
of
can
them.
never be too careful, right?
When
you have a wardrobe malfunction, you're properly prepared, well healed.
When I was a kid, we used to use burlap bags, and for insulation, we used fiberglass insulation from old houses.
Yeah, and instead of toilet paper, they would use corn cobs.
I saw a lady the other day that talked about she had a poop knife. Have you ever seen that?
What?
Where were you when you talked to a lady who
who
used a poop
It was
knife?
on TV.
Okay.
Every once in a while, when my wife and I were dating,
First time we put poop knife on the. On
the funny
checklist.
thing is, I usually found more utility out of a poop spoon, but
I don't know.
Spatula.
When my wife and I were dating and we had people over, I would once in a while I'd yell from the bathroom. I'd be like, Tammy, come to the bathroom. Bring the camera and a tape measure. And we still got married.
Oh my god. I do want to ask you guys, favorite Christmas song, Israel. What do you got?
I guess maybe White Christmas.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's a hit. Bing Crosby, White Christmas.
Yeah.
My wife's been watching that on a loop.
Very
the last
MAGA
week.
of you.
Okay. What's your favorite Christmas song?
It is. No, you're going to kill me for saying this.
Oh no.
My
The
favorite
Vampire?
Christmas
No.
song
Is the theme song to
Jason
Die Hard?
Isbell. No. My favorite Christmas song is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas from the movie Meet Me in St. Louis.
Louis, yeah. No, Meet Me in St. Louis.
Louis. Oh,
Louis,
sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I
Yeah,
fucking
that is a
mispronounced.
young
Really screwed that one up, Mike.
McKenna's front porch is just correcting me.
but
But
that's
that has that pathos.
yeah, no, that song was so sad that they cut out a verse or changed it. And it, because they say like through the years we'll all be together if the fates allow, but it had an even sadder song. But what it is a family.
I remember that line. They were like, "If Grandpa isn't dead next year."
Yeah, it was like
And all our animals are still alive.
Yeah, anyway,
Our pets.
But
are-
Judy Garland is the main kid. She sings that by the window to her younger sister. It has pathos. It has everything. It really does.
Yeah,
and,
it is beautiful.
And we did it. We did that parody at Second City because it's a heavy. It's a showstopper.
It was shot by Vincent Minnelli.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Liza
Yeah.
Minnelli.
Well, who doesn't know? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Her husband?
Beautiful.
So it became Liza
Is that
Minnelli's
who it is?
father. So her
Oh.
future.
He also
Okay.
directed Rome Open City. If you ever want to check that out.
My favorite Christmas song, thanks for asking, is
Did you already tell us?
actually there's two, but like the first one is Jose Feliciano, Feliz Navidad. I love the pure energy of that. It's like
good
happy
one.
energy.
It is a good
And
song.
it is. It can't be replicated. I've never heard somebody do that with the same gusto as him. And my second one would be Sleigh Ride, Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes, produced by Phil Spector. That version is like killer. Sleigh Ride's such great.
I didn't know.
That wasn't a Phil Spector
But I'm
joke.
kidding.
Killer.
I thought for sure that was a.
By the way, I didn't know I had to have questions. Otherwise,
Well, you don't have to have questions. We asked you the questions. The other one of my other favorites. I always love the one from Griswold. Mele Kaliki Maka. That's a,
Bing Crosby.
yeah. It's a classic. Love that one. All right. Next up, Mike. What's the most memorable Christmas present?
I don't even know.
No good ones or bad
Really?
ones. Good or bad? No.
Well, Mike, we have a present back here.
Nothing. Just
I do have.
I do remember one thing. I asked for boxing gloves one year and I didn't get them. I was
Why?
really disappointed.
Why did
Because
you want
my
boxing
mom
gloves?
apparently
Who
didn't
was
want-
the big boxer at the time?
Me. I was-
No, I meant like. Was
And
it
everybody he
he
ran
was a
to-
big. He was a big Cooney fan.
I'd probably been a Larry Holmes Jr.
Yeah, well, Larry Holmes. Yeah, I remember Holmes versus Cooney.
Yeah.
That was a big fight back in the day. But
grab your parents for the next podcast. They're gonna love hearing about.
my mom was totally into boxing. So
I remember seeing Jack Dempsey in Bronx Stadium.
Welcome to the main stage from the old folks.
They didn't
home.
even have gloves in those days.
Turn it up and sit back and relax.
So your favorite gift was the gift you never got.
No, that wasn't my favorite.
I mean,
I was
what
saying
is
he
your
said
favorite?
he said it was.
What's
worse.
the most memorable?
I don't fucking know.
Good or bad? Okay, Garrett, you ever get a present?
Yeah, but this guy, he's a master improviser, and he's
And he just put a big turd on us.
I'm not. We don't.
So my
I'm not
memorable-
Christian, by the way. I don't know if I told you.
My
that.
memorable.
Oh, no?
He's just joking. He's Buddhist though. Yeah. Well, with that said, when I was a young kid, probably in first grade or something, my parents got me and my two brothers Schwinn bikes. It was awesome. But I was so small, they got me a bike called the Mini Scrambler. So we had the smaller pedals and stuff. And then I never got another bike. So when I got older, I'd have to ride twice as fast to keep up. But back in the day, you can go onto these subdivisions being developed, and there was trails, and you could do jumps and stuff. And so when I was older, everybody wanted to be on that bike because it had less weight, and you could grab pretty cool air, high. So,
Garrett was the inspiration for the giant bear on the tricycle in the circus. That was the last time anyone called him little.
He still has that bike right now.
I remember.
You see him driving down Oak Park
I
Avenue.
do own that. I fashioned it to be an e-bike, so I'm above the law, baby. I'm above the law. No. But my brother had the Blue Demon, and then my other brother had a bike that had red mag wheels. It was pretty. I mean,
My
they were
wife
nice
gave
bikes.
me
Those mag
my
wheels are
wife
pretty.
gave me
Those
a Weber
5-spoke
grill.
ones.
Yeah, they were good.
My wife gave me a Weber grill about 5 years ago. That's probably my favorite. I can't think of anything when I was a kid. I mean, I enjoyed all the stuff I got.
Yeah. Israel's favorite gift.
I mean, it was 87 and Christmas was over. You know, I open whatever, and then my parents are like, do the whole, oh, what's over in the corner over there? And I got the Nintendo, the NES.
Oh, yeah.
With Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers.
yeah.
And then for from my family, I got the Top Gun video game.
Oh,
too,
that's a good
later,
one.
So.
Could you land the plane?
Hell no, I couldn't
That
land
was
that
the hardest
plane.
thing. Like you would shoot everything, you always wipe out. You would always wipe out in this game. So
Yeah.
my neighbor had Top Gun. I didn't have Top Gun. I go over there and I could never land. None of us could. You couldn't get off mission 1.
Yeah. But definitely the best gift I ever got.
We were poor. I think one year I got to keep my kidney. That was like, they were going to sell it.
A quick question on Duck Hunt. Did you go up to the screen?
I mean, you definitely do that some.
Yeah,
you
some,
definitely do
okay.
that some.
Okay.
When times get hard. Mike, what's the biggest celebrity you've ever run into? Besides Garrett and myself, we're big podcasters now.
I actually was in Superdog one day with a guy from work, and I heard this voice, and I'm like, I know that fucking voice. It was Jim Gaffigan. It was me and my friend and Jim Gaffigan and his manager in Superdog, and I was like, hey, I heard you on the radio.
Where was this located at?
Superdog is on it's in Lincolnshire. It's just north side of Chicago.
Yeah, I know where.
Yeah.
They have a nice theater there.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous person.
My wife, her Toastmasters club in Valparaiso, Jim Gaffigan's brother Mitch was a member there for a long time. And so she always thought Mitch was funnier than Jim. I've seen Jim 3 times. Always different material, always funny. He's great. But one time I got some Second City pass. This was after I was out of Second City, where he did a movie where he played a husband to 2 families. So he kept, but there was a Q&A before, then they showed the movie, and then he hung out at the bar. And so I couldn't go, so I gave my 2 tickets, free tickets, to my wife, and she brought a friend. And she went up to him at the bar and said, hi Mitch, or sorry, hi Mitch. No, hi Jim. I'm a big fan of your brother Mitch. And then he laughed and lost it. He thought that was funny. I'm a big fan of your brother Mitch. Now I'm a big fan of you. And then his sister was inviting her over to they had a big christening. And she's like, we're not gonna be, they have a huge family in Indiana. So Gaffigan's good.
Is this story over?
You know it's a good story whenever we
Let's get back to Mike.
I screwed up the punchline though. Either way. Okay, Mike.
I'm moving over so you can get in.
All right, Mike.
And my biggest celebrity was Mitch Gaffigan.
Through his wife.
Oh, mine was Oprah Winfrey. How about
Did
that?
you? Oh yeah, you made an intimate eye contact with her.
Intimate? No. Well, I used to.
It was a public
I worked for a couple that lived in the building she lived in, and I was getting in the elevator, the garage elevator, and the door is open. And there's 2 black dogs, and then those are her dogs, and then she came walking in. So she obviously wanted more, but I had to go. So. Next question, Mike. Can you open a beer bottle with a lighter?
Yes.
Really?
And I can use my wedding ring.
Really?
Wow.
And I've done it with my teeth.
I cannot do the beer bottle. Well, the
Bring it here.
teeth.
Bring it here.
Next
Bring me a beer
podcast.
bottle.
You gotta see his teeth. I believe it.
Can you, Garrett? Any beer bottle opening tricks?
These are all fake. These are all fake teeth.
I don't drink. I can open up milk bottles with my teeth.
He can do it. He can do it with his mouth, but it's not his teeth. He can suck,
All right.
He can suck it off.
Have you ever burned a sports jersey? You were
No.
so mad. Okay.
No.
Garrett?
Oh, never. Have you?
No. Never.
That was your question?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the worst sports jersey you own?
Did you get your
You were instant remorse. I once saw this guy who worked for us. He wore there was a disgraced tight end from Green Bay. Like he was hanging out in a pool with.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
What the hell was that guy's name? And he had that jersey. And he was still wearing it like a year.
He was in a hot tub with the
Yeah,
teenage girl.
Not good.
The worst I've had is like I always intend to buy him the year before they leave the team.
I know. I did that. I did that with Julius Peppers. I had a Julius Peppers.
I had a Rex Grossman jersey.
Oh yeah.
So I never buy. And I'm like, if it ain't Peyton Urlacher,
Right,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
retired
right.
ones,
So-
the legends.
the
Right,
only
that's
so
what-
like we were at breakfast. Somebody there was a date because my wife's like, oh, they're on a date, first date. I was a young guy and a young lady, and she had an orange Justin Fields jersey. So
Oh
it was
yeah, the orange one.
Yeah, the off color.
Yeah.
I had a Mitch Gaffigan jersey one time. He played he played for Indiana.
amazing.
Dude, you know where Jim Gaffigan played? He played at Georgetown. And I was
he
like,
really?
Georgetown had a football team.
No, they did.
Yeah, they did. I'm not kidding. Jim Gaffigan played at Georgetown.
think they had
yeah.
football.
But I have a Ricky Williams, but it fits so good. And then then he had all this stuff with like dope and stuff. And that's where I met my wife. I was wearing that jersey. And
She was doing
hates
dope.
jerseys.
No, I'm just kidding. That's where I met my wife at Ricky Williams' house doing dope.
Doing the dope.
Remember he was on the Sports Illustrated in a wedding dress with Mike Ditka?
Yeah.
Oh God, what a horrible picture.
Mike, have you ever owned a snake, a lizard, or a bird as a pet?
I own.
Currently?
I currently have a bearded dragon.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, is there?
Ricky. His
What
name
made you
is
buy a
Ricky.
dragon?
Oh, really?
Huh?
What made you buy a dragon?
We wanted a pet, and they seemed like non-hypoallergenic. We ended up getting a dog too.
And that was the first time you've ever gotten a lizard?
With my family.
I mean, he got really caught up in Game of Thrones. He was like, I gotta get a
He's like, I
dragon.
gotta make this
he
thing
calls
fly.
His wife, he calls his wife Khaleesi.
I like Game of Thrones.
Good catch.
Oh, I love the Thrones in the winter. When they're just coming off the trees, some of the Thrones.
So you were a big Ricky the Dragon Steamboat fan?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Ricky.
pro
the
wrestling.
Yeah,
No,
pro wrestling.
I
Well, why'd
don't
you call the dragon Ricky then?
because it was a name for a boy or a girl. We didn't know what sex the bearded dragon was.
What girl's named
We're
Ricky?
going down the rabbit hole.
What girl's named Ricky?
Ricky Lake.
Oh, Ricky Lee Jones. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty Ricky. I don't know. All right. Do you own any celebrity cookware?
We do have some Rachel Ray stuff, and we have what's the Southern lady?
You're asking the wrong guy.
The one that didn't she get canceled?
Paula
Dean.
Paula Dean.
Yeah.
some Paula
We
Dean
went to
stuff.
her restaurant down in
Myrtle
Gatlinburg.
Beach. I went to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, they have one
It was
around Gatlin. Phenomenal
Yeah.
restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've eaten at some of the finest celebrity restaurants in town. I remember I was at Mitch, what's his face?
Gaffigan.
Mitch Gaffigan's hot dog restaurant
He's got
opening.
a Euro place.
He's a banker.
I was at Les Brothers.
Garrett, any celebrity
I think
cookware?
we might have a small mini Foreman grill that I've never
Whoa!
used.
I almost put that as a
never-
question. Do you still have a Foreman grill?
I never used it.
I have a
though.
panini maker. But the Foreman grill, there's a guy that has a whole bit on the Foreman grill. How it's like George Foreman kind of rushed it into production because they're like, how about an on-off switch? He's like, no, we don't need it. You just plug it in. How about make it cool? So on the outside, they're like, no. They kind of
Yeah.
All right. We actually got probably 10 years ago these Rachel Ray, like the spoons. They're like made out of some type of. But those things still go strong. They're phenomenal.
I will say this: they're not celebrity endorsed, to my knowledge, but Cutco knives. My cousin Jen sold me them when she was like in college, and those things are pretty good. They're pretty sharp.
All right. Shout out to Cutco Knives.
Yeah.
All right. So, Garrett, did you have any other questions? I know we wanted to kind of do a highlight of the year.
Oh, I do have a question. Like, we talk about Christmas songs, but as we're coming up on the Christmas time, do you have a favorite Christmas album? Musical
Ooh,
album?
Christmas with the Rat Pack is mine by far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, great album.
What's the best song off of there?
I don't know. I don't know if I could call one out. It's just that's one I
I'll
put
have to check it
on.
out.
Like I'll come down Sunday morning, put Christmas with the Rat Pack on, and I love it.
That sounds cool. I do
Yeah.
like the classics. I know. I think I had a Bing Crosby album with White Christmas. There was one that came out in like the late '80s.
Huh.
That's when like Live Aid and a lot of the charity ones were coming out.
Yeah.
And I know that it had U2 was singing Baby Please Come Home.
Oh yeah.
And then
that's yeah. I think it was the
Springsteen
special
was-
Christmas.
yeah, very special
Version,
Christmas.
I think it was like version 2 is the best one.
Okay, I don't know.
1 or 2, it's like one of the early ones.
It's one
Because
of
then they
those.
kind of got, because, well, the thing about Christmas music is there's some classics that like you're like, this is kind of the
Yeah.
version all others are judged against,
Right,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah.
It is hard. I do like the, like I like the Chuck Berry version of
Run,
Run Run Rudolph. Like anyone else does it, it just doesn't.
I
work.
will say this. So there was, when I was growing up as a kid, my parents had this album that they play all the time around Christmas time, and then somewhere in college somebody like found it or something on a CD or something, but it was the Muppets Christmas with
Oh,
John
wow.
Denver.
Wow.
And it actually has some really good like,
John Denver's underrated.
well, here's the funny thing about
Sure.
John, but John Denver he was really big in the 70s or something, and maybe not so much coming into the 80s. Maybe the Muppets was 80s, I don't even know. But what happened was he wanted to be part of We Are the World, and they were like, nah, you're not cool enough.
Yeah.
He wanted to be part, and you even have, what's the guy, Lukenbach, Texas, Mamas Don't Let Your, Waylon Jennings was part of it, and he walked off. He said, I'm done, and then left. And yet you have Dan Aykroyd, a Canadian, and other people in the background just kind of hanging out, and you said no to John Denver. It's kind of a little, kind of weird and a little, uppity a little bit, but I love the We Are the World. It's a good song. But I did want to say one more. Here's this album that came out about 11 years ago. You won't think that it's a good album, but it's got charm. And charm can do so much. It's Bob Dylan's Christmas in the Heart. Christmas in the Heart, and he does a great version of Here Comes Santa Claus. He sounds like a snake hissing, but it's like the Doris Day kind of version. He has a song, Must Be Santa, and Rolling Stone reviewed it as when Bob Dylan, and they gave it a thumbs up, but when Bob Dylan sings I'll Be Home for Christmas, you don't know if it's a promise or a threat. It's got weird vibes, but it's charming.
He did like 3 Christian albums.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and he said, I think when that came out, he said, "Well, I grew up Jewish and stuff, but Christmas music's everywhere, and it's accessible everywhere." So he did a great job with it.
We got a couple. Jamie said, "Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat." By the Muppets.
Yeah,
and
totally.
then Judy Willick said, Wilk. Sorry, I keep doing that. Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Judy B had the Dave Rudolph Completely Cracked Christmas. So good. And
I'm not familiar with that one. The Day Rudolph Completely Cracked Christmas? Who sings that? Or is that an album?
Completely Cracked Christmas by Dave Rudolph.
Oh, by Dave Rudolph. I'm going to have to check
I'll
that
have
out.
to check it out.
I'm going to check that
Thanks,
out.
Judy. Great. Well, Garrett, I know we talked a little bit about it, but do you want to start with your highlights, or should we have Mike? What do you think?
Let's start with Mike on highlights. Let's go big since we're going to come up to New Year's too. Like, what is one of your highlights from this past year? Whether it's on the stage with Main Stage, or practices with Main Stage, or anything else that you did with the group.
God, I really got to.
And he taught classes, and they sold out before I could during the pre-sale
Yeah, teaching the character class was really cool. I would definitely like to do that again.
That's really
I mean,
good.
I learned stuff just having to think about it. I'm trying to remember all the shows I was in. I think we did the March.
Gladiators, where you were a judge.
I was a judge, but then the Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Star
May,
Wars was
Great
really
show.
good.
May the 4th. Yeah.
The Halloween show, the Christmas show. I mean, I hate being forced to pick one thing because they're all so great, and I do think the rehearsals are just as much fun.
Well, you just kind of reminded me of and maybe we can kind of cut the bit and show it, but one of my favorite memories actually was when you guys did stand up for rehearsals, and you guys were really funny, and I know Heather reacted but it was something. I love authentic laughter, but it made you guys were sizzling, I thought, for that practice.
Yeah.
Because we were laughing too, so it's not like there was one person. There was a lot of people, but I just remember you guys both doing that stand up, and I don't know, there was something electric about it. And you did the show too, but I would swear, hand to God, that that was your best version of your jokes was in that practice. And I've watched the footage, and I'm like, the way you sold it,
Yeah.
You know.
And one of my favorite, I mean, maybe it's the recency bias, but when we were doing the rehearsals for the Christmas show, I think it was one of the first nights where we were just improv and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we were in the snow globe together.
Oh, that
remember?
was great with Kevin.
And
That
then,
was
like
great.
someone was shaking the snow globe, and then you're like, "Here comes the hand."
Yeah,
And then I was that blind girl or whatever.
that was great.
Father.
It started out with
And then someone wiped the scene, but I had my eyes closed and I stayed out there.
Yeah.
Which is,
It was
we
good.
got to remember that for a bit.
And this is where improv is gold, is dealing with callbacks and the information you're given. So we had a scene with just Kevin and I, and it was just like buying a snow globe for my wife. And I was he was going to modify it because we didn't have the towers or something like that. And then he goes, there, he modified it. He goes, and I go, well, she's blind, right? It was not that funny of a joke. But he came out playing the wife. I know that sounds like kind of insensitive, but it wasn't. It stayed in character. And but this is where like that great thing where at one point then Adam and Jules, and they said, oh, it's in the city. Oh no, he's in there. And then they shake it, and then Kevin and him came out.
We were in some.
But all those scenes build and led into the other scenes. It was very good.
Here's a little tip to all you young improvisers out there. If you just say something that was already said, people think you're really funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many times we've done a montage where we get a suggestion, like, cabbage. And then we do the whole thing, and at the end it's like, that's some cabbage you got there, and everyone thinks you're a freaking genius.
Yeah.
And you're like, I literally just said the suggestion.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the thing
stupid.
is, I've learned this from Mike too, because we'll play with people that when you get a suggestion, they go right to it, right on the nose. But there's a nice way where you just like kind of you skirt around it, and then it comes out at the end.
Yeah.
And there's a bigger impact to the audience with that reveal. Right? And I mean, there's no wrong or right way, but we know some people are super literal if you get a suggestion. That's why when I ask for suggestions and I talk to players when I'm coaching or teaching or just through practices, it's what that means to you, right? What that means to you. And
It's harder to do, but it is sometimes fun to not go for the joke. You know, like to do it in a subtle way where the audience gets it. They actually appreciate it a little more when you're play a little higher level and come at it from a different way.
And if you go too early, you're done. It's like somebody's got to wipe your scene if it's a montage or.
I will give a shout out to Madison. I think she's really the best at that. Not like going right for the thing. She can turn it around. She's also good at like if it's something she doesn't want to do, she can kind of change it around, which is great.
She's great at buttons to scenes. So like when we were at Curtain Call doing a show. She was our button woman. Like she could totally button up the scene, for what the scene needed. But
how about you, Israel?
Israel.
What's your highlight?
Well, I would definitely say the Christmas show. I mean, with just being a great show, but that was the first of our shows that was sold out. At least that I've been a part of. And then tied with that, I think we did 2 outside gigs this year down in Bloomington, and then the one at the Patriot Bar.
Yeah, so fun.
And
every time you guys mentioned Bloomington, I'm like, that sounds really cool. And then I'm like,
Mike was. All 3 of us were part of both of those gigs.
I don't remember.
And we had a different, like we had Brandon, we had Katie, we had Brendan, and then we also had Megan.
It was for Toastmasters down there, and just a lot of fun. Again, another great receptive crowd that were really into it. So, and although it's not mine, the May the 5th show, I think is one of those, and I've said it a couple times, one that like every student of improv should watch because that's probably the best. In my opinion, the best show we did this year, if not the best that we have recorded.
Wow.
It was so funny.
I gotta
so
watch
much
that.
good stuff there.
Sounds like it was good.
You were good. He was in it. I want to say my
I was in that one too.
You were in that
You
too.
were.
Mike's memory is a little bit faded these days. But my favorite memory is more recently, and that was last week. We had a main stage cast party, and we invited some other people that like Tech and the Tinley Theater. People came out, and I gotta just say, like, one, we had a huge turnout, and yet there were some people because of work and some other sickness issues that they couldn't come. But there was 2 things that stood out. One, everybody stood up at one point and said some nice words about improv, about main stage, or even about me. and you could just feel everybody's testimony was different. It came from their point of view, but it was powerful. And this is what I strive for ultimately is Newt Rockney used to say, I don't play my best 10. I don't play my 10 best. I play my best 10. Teamwork, right? And so I know we only have one Mike McCauley in the group, right? We only have one Israel. We only have one Madison. We only have one Garrett. But the biggest thing is we have to play together. It's a team sport. And so I was really moved by a lot of the kind words, but I also was moved by you two gentlemen coming up. I know it was Israel's coming up with an original song, a riff on Santa Baby that we did in the show, but it was Garrett Baby. And Mike played the ukulele.
I went in his den and he's got a ukulele. I'm like, you're holding out on me. I fumbled through the ukulele part.
But I did feel the love that night, and the party was just as a thank you to all those people. And after we had to get out of the room at 9, people stayed around at the bar for a long time until we felt we better go because we don't want to be too rude. So I felt the love. But that was a pinnacle of the whole year, right?
Well, and that's one of the things you've been really good at, Garrett, over the last couple of years is building that community and keeping people together and all different levels of improvisers and ages and all of that. I think largely feel very welcome and part of the become part of the group. So
I got a question for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
What about next year? What would you like to see? What are your expectations for next year?
Well, do you want to go, Israel?
Well, I know some of the things Garrett's talked about, and I think I definitely loved the idea of growing more and getting in front of different audiences, and working more with some of the other performers. But I'm also some of the tech stuff we've done. I think we've seen the social media grow and the YouTube grow more, and so I'm looking forward to seeing that grow too, and refining this a little more and figuring out how to be more effective. But I love talking to people and getting to know people, and I think this is a good way. We don't always have the time in practices, and I think that Christmas party was awesome, and social things like that are awesome because the more we get to know each other, the better we work together and the more comfortable we are on stage. And I think it's just been great. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
And I see us growing more and more. As Israel mentioned, doing shows in front of different audiences. I do have a lot of non-associated gigs that I'm not putting on the website because they're private events that I have on my docket for the next 2 months, actually. But those will bring in more audiences and hopefully some new stages to perform on, because Mike and I have talked about this before. We do a Christmas show or a show where we have sketches, and then we do it once and that's it. And rather than doing it back to back, go to another theater, to a new audience, and do a similar show. But a new stage is different, a different thing, because as Israel and I saw at the Moraine Valley, their stage, you're able to do a lot with lighting and whatnot, and so it opens up your playbook. And so I'd like to do more shows on the road, so to speak, whether they're locally at local venues or out of state venues, and I have some plans for that. And I see us growing, and so much that we may have like 2 squads doing shows across town at the same time. How cool would that be, right? So it'd be like us on the A team here. No, I'm kidding,
but I thought about that too. The Improv Fest, I think we've talked.
Oh yeah. So
that'd be awesome.
And I wanted to do. And I don't know if Garrett told you this. I want to do I used to make documentaries, so I love documentary stuff. So I'd like to document the putting together of a show.
Oh, that'd be fun.
From the pitch meeting on.
I got final veto say. I don't want to be like. I'm kidding.
It's gonna be like the Vanity Fair.
Yeah, it'll be like Garrett Gray under the hood.
Like Garrett, go change your shirt.
What about the children that you're hurting?
The real Garrett.
Why is Garrett sweating so much?
I have reproductive glands, guys.
Let's talk about Garrett's glands.
I think you gotta sign some HIPAA thing before.
Yeah, I will have everyone sign up.
a disclosure, but
Mike, did you share your highlight of the year?
I
Did you go? Okay.
I think so.
And Garrett, you okay?
I successfully avoided it.
No, well done. We got a couple more I wanted to clear up. Judy was also asking, when is the next class? Garrett, what's going on with main stage classes?
okay. Thanks, Judy. Yeah, it's funny. I have a fundamental starting in January 13th at Orland Park on Tuesday nights, 7 to 9 at the Frank Loeb Center. And that's going to go all the way to early March with the class show on March 6th. I also then have an advanced class coming on after that in Tinley Park for the Park District. But I will probably have advanced 2.0 class, my class that just graduated in December. I have to look at the dates, but it'll be on a date that I'm not teaching the other classes, and they'll probably be at my private facility in Tinley Park. So if you didn't take a 2.0 class or a 2.5 class, that class was like 11 people, but we'll see how many people can make the date. But I'm sure I'll have a place or two for 2 newbies. We did get 2 newbies for this last class that they were in, and they killed. Adam and a guy named Gray, Steve Gray, no relation. They were killer in their show, but it's a really talented group, a lot of talent on that squad. And I'll keep you guys posted. I just got to update it on my webpage. So stay tuned.
And Judy said, Mike, please teach another class.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. That was an awesome class.
I'll talk with Mike on dates and stuff, and I'll shoot them out to you guys. And again, I'll probably, last time I had it class specific with a few people outside of the class that got me early on, so I included them before I let it out to everybody.
I got a question. We've talked a lot recently because as main stage kind of grows, you get more and more people and more quality improvisers. What do you think, Mike, and then Garrett, is like an ideal size of a cast to work with?
1,000.
Yeah, I think 19.
We're almost there.
No, I think like 6 or 7 is probably for the cast of a show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I think I probably would have less than what we have now.
I know. I get it.
I mean, it's the boss here, man. You don't want me to.
No.
I'm gonna get fired.
Mike and I, when our second city group, I think we were 8, and then we lost Jen, and we added Logan, so we were about 8, and then we lost Sherry Art, and then we were 7. But those are good because people get on the stage at a pretty good clip. However, when we were doing those shows, they were at Second City. They're smaller shows.
Oh man, but
so
the backstage is also really small.
Oh yeah, and so with that said, we do have a little bit of leeway, and I know our next cast is pretty. Adam's doing the show. He's directing the January show. I think we got a cast of 11. And I'm on the cast, but I said to him, if you need me to step back on this, I'm okay. But I'll jump in where I'm needed. Like the idea, we have a big roster, but I also want to use people in good ways where they grow their skills. Because originally I wanted to have like an opener act and then the main act. But the thing is, I still think there's value with new people who are talented working with experienced people who are talented, right? Versus, oh, you guys just work with each other, right? So I think that was one of the things behind Gladiators.
No, that's cool.
Mix up.
It has gotten a lot of people. Like I didn't think the last show was bad as far as it was a big cast.
Yeah.
I
thought everybody was on.
I probably and I think this is what makes things cool. Is like you should have a mix. Like I prefer minimalist stuff. Like I don't like having a lot of and I'm not.
He's
trying
not
to
a
bust
prop
any
guy.
balls.
No, Mike's not.
I don't
a prop
like props
guy.
or costume changes, but I do think there's times where having a costume can help. Like
I agree. I don't go overboard.
Yeah.
But we had a Second City mate who would bring in he had like a wig budget. He'd bring in stuff and it worked. It worked. But like I get it.
we end up losing money on the show because of all the.
See you. Bye.
We sold out 4 nights, and
We did.
We ended up owing Jeff's wigs money. I was like,
But Dan had this thing where he has a very similar face to like a Benny Hill where he could put on a funny wig and it totally changes how he looks. So he'd put on a black mustache, a black curly wig, and it'd be like he'd slip the skin, so to speak. And so it really did work pretty well. But like I got long hair and a beard. I look the same wearing a wig. You know, I mean, I do. You know, so I never wore the wigs or that.
Yeah,
you know?
I can't do it.
Who would cover that beautiful ponytail
Nobody,
with a wig?
my friend. Nobody. That coif of hair is not going to be soiled by synthetic strands. No.
No, sirree.
Is there any other questions? I keep seeing the.
You know, Gil asked when the next Robject, so with Rob,
Oh, yeah.
object work class was going to be. We'll go through a couple. We can, let's see. Judy also mentioned the Amy Poehler Improv Masterclass. So that was really good. And so yeah, Gil asked, so when the next, any plans for
I got to talk with Rob on his schedule. It's completely dependent on his schedule. But I talked to him last year about it, and he couldn't do it at the tail end of last year. So I have to just get with him, and once I get those dates, I will let you guys know, because that one, well, Rob is a master of object work, and so he's got a 3-class structure where we'll go a deep dive into object work.
If there's any questions we missed, we'll follow up via email.
Mike will follow up with an email.
Oh, you know what? Speaking
Is
of
this live? People can see us?
Yeah, for the
What
past
kind of voodoo demon stuff you got going on when people can see us over the airwaves?
yeah, we tried to explain talkies to Mike earlier, and so like,
He's still amazed it's not in black and white.
yeah. So I do have this birthday book that a friend of mine referenced years back, and she used to give people a Xerox of their birth. It's just the month and the year. I'm not asking for. I mean, the month and the day. I'm not asking for the year. And what would do is it give a synopsis of that person's personality. And actually, I have the book, but I didn't make a Xerox copy of that. I went deeper. On their website, you can actually find out how one personality gels with another personality. So that's the one I printed out, and I have it right here. This is how me and Mike gel. You guys want to hear this?
Yeah,
Okay, so this is my gift to you. So it is. I did have a gift. So
It's just based on the date, not the year.
yeah, so your month and day, not the year, and you are the day of. I'm the week of the pioneer, and Mike is the week of renewal. Okay, but together, our relationship is called comic relief, and they show a little picture here of a hat, a bowler hat with some feathers, I guess to be funny, I don't know.
Wow.
But our relationship is ideal for marriage, but challenging for family, which is weird.
What would the challenge be exactly?
I'm willing to try.
But the funny I'm not. But the thing is, it has things like you'll be good for acquaintances or love or work or stuff like that.
Quickie.
And then I'll have stuff that's the opposite, where it's not ideal for. But it's called, the day is called comic relief. And let me read you this first paragraph on the relationship personality. Laughter is used to lighten oppressive moods in this relationship. From slapstick to wordplay, from gentle cajoling to dark humor, comedy in many forms serves to clear the air and provides a common basis for communication. The sharpness of mind found in this relationship needs a reliable safety valve, and joking, whether sarcastic and ironic or more friendly, is usually effective. And I will say this, like, one of the things I like about Mike, but I'm like, this kind of like really high-strung person, like before shows, he does that like kind of needling and cajoling. And I remember, like, it's like, settle down, but like, I know when he's doing that, he's gonna crush it. So now I just realized, like, I'll just take those. I love it. So it says, both partners are usually well served by the relationship and, in general, satisfied by it. The connection is often teacher-student or parent-child, with the week of pioneer people, that's me, adopting the more mature role. Fortunately, the week of pioneer people usually have the understanding and patience necessary to deal with the week of renewal's person's complexity. And then there's some other stuff. But, it goes, when in torment, week of renewal people tend to lash out, but they will find people born during the week of the pioneer less reactive than most, more willing to listen, and ready to communicate by poking fun. Week of the Pioneer people are often limited in their capacity to give full-hearted sympathy. Boo-hoo. However, and in this respect, the Week of Renewal person's needs may remain unsatisfied. Sorry, Mike. But our strengths are beneficial, fun, and sharp-witted. So there's should I read the final paragraph? Whether romantic or platonic.
I'm going to send it to me. I got to bring it up to my therapist.
Either way, I mean that's all I'm.
No, you can read it.
No, because it's.
Does it have how I fit into this relationship?
You know what? I actually
do I have to go down on you right now, or how does it work?
Just a makeout sesh.
I did look up one for Israel and Mike, and I didn't print that out because I couldn't really print it out. I had the screenshot, and it had like yours was ideal for love. Mine's ideal for marriage. Not love, but marriage. Yours was ideal for love as a friend, I think.
Just friends. We're just friends.
I think.
You're not marriage material.
I guess you're not marriage material. Yeah.
I will say that using comedy has been something I've definitely, used my whole life. And it's been a positive and a negative, like to avoid a conflict or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think usually humor softens a lot of things.
I agree.
So it's been a fun thing to sort of have,
Yeah.
to use. And I do think that improv has been a great thing for life. I do believe, like I used to teach when I had teams that I manage,
Yeah.
I would go through the whole thing about yes-anding, finding agreement, being committed to something, having integrity, all principles of improv that are just great for life, great things to sort of have for life. And I really do believe that.
I agree. Whether you're going to be on a stage or not, there are principles that really help serve you as a human being. And I do think, like you said, Mike, my mantra, and it's in the book too, is laughter is the best medicine. After antibiotics, of course, but laughter is the best medicine. It can take the sting off of some hard words you have to give, and it can soften some things, but it also can rise you up. I mean, some of the best moments I recall of this past year are a lot of the practices we had, the laughter at practices, and the laughter at my classes I'm teaching. The shows are great, they're fun, but man, some of the unbridled moments that we have, it's like pure joy.
Yeah. Great. Well, this is fun. Any other, Garrett, did you get through all your lists there? I think I got through everything. Mike, what do you do professionally?
I'm in sales.
Okay.
I sell, right now I'm in the two-way radio business, walkie-talkies. If anyone has a need.
Ham radios, maybe?
Yeah, I've been in sales.
You're joking about the walkie-talkies, right?
They're walkie-talkies.
Really?
Two-way radios. Yeah.
True.
You do need license for
Well,
those.
for police and fire, a lot of buildings use them.
Surveyors.
I was like the village of Plainfield.
Sorry, I thought you were joking. You said walkie-talkies, like.
Well, I could say too,
that makes
digital
sense.
mobile radios.
But you need a license to operate.
Yeah, FCC license.
Sure, yeah.
So, like,
Okay.
Village of Plainfield School District just bought 1,900 radios.
1900. What
Wow.
are they doing?
They have one for
The police, everybody.
no, that's just for the school district.
What?
They have 34 buildings.
Oh,
So
well,
a lot
okay,
of
that
schools
makes
will get it for an emergency.
Yeah, I mean, plus two, like I'm sure with
A lot
the
of
buses
buildings,
and
like
stuff.
stuff like that. So I know it seems
Yeah.
like it's kind of.
No,
I
no,
spent
no.
most of my career I worked for Sprint and T-Mobile, but I'm looking for a part-time job. So if anyone
Okay.
needs someone witty, like I said, I don't know how to. I never figured out how to make money, unfortunately. That's
Perfect. Sounds great.
Yeah, great.
Garrett, what else is coming up? We got the January 31st.
We have the January 31st show. Adam Woodworth will be directing that, and we have kind of a new blended cast. Some of the people that have not performed for the last couple shows are going to be coming back, and I welcome it because I think it's just going to be a fun new vibe.
That sounds great. I can't wait to see it.
Well, you're in it.
Oh,
Mike is in it. He was in, then he was out, then he was in.
I say no to every show, and then I just do it.
Yeah. So we have that, and then we have the follow-up show will be February the 28th.
The Valentine show.
Yeah, well, it's post-Valentine's.
Leap
so
year.
Yeah, it's not the 29th, so I'm not sure. I think we just say it's cold outside or something is the theme.
Is there another jam show or open mic in the near future?
Yeah, but it won't be in the winter. I think so. The one thing is our Gladiator show was moved up a week, so we only have 3 weeks for the Gladiators. And I do want to have a blend of new and old, like new students. And
We need some old gladiators, man.
Mike and I did the
Old
first.
gladiators.
Mike and I were gladiators in the first show, and we were kicking butt. But there was like a weird. The way it came down was
Was I
like,
in that show?
yeah, it was. Yeah, there was some weird thing where after one game, the other group was.
Oh, yeah.
It made no
It
sense.
was a fucking math problem.
It was a math problem. We were kicking butt, and so the next year,
I was like, this is wrong.
yeah.
That's why.
But so we were robbed. We were robbed gladiators, but it was okay because it was a fun show to do. Last year's or this past
By the way,
year's show,
Garrett designed the scoring system, so I don't know why he's complaining.
He screwed himself out of a win.
I didn't design the scoring
You
system.
did.
The next year, I designed the scoring
Did we
system.
film that one? I gotta see.
I don't
We
think
gotta
that
check the
one
tape.
was.
No, that one wasn't filmed. But that's going to be a fun show because you see the new blood and the old blood. And last year, if that wasn't a sellout, it was pretty damn near it.
Yeah.
There was like not a,
Yeah, that was a big one.
that was a big one.
Do we pay for how long we're on?
You do. 100 minutes.
Is this
So
like-
guys, if you tip $5, Mike's gonna go shirtless for the next 5 minutes.
if anyone wants
Hey,
an interpretive
look at
dance,
that.
I'd be happy to do it.
No, all right. Well, I think we got a lot of great questions. So thank you, Judy and Gil,
Jamie.
All the
Jamie,
Judys and Jamies and
everybody giving
Jordan
the questions
and-
made a lot of fun. So,
Jack.
Mike, thanks for coming on and
Yes,
talking.
thanks for
This is a
having
lot
me.
of
I
fun,
really
Mike.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Yeah, Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. See you next time.
Bye.